Today's episode of Luthorville will answer the question, why create such a project?
All my life, I have always had a love for technology and a strong belief in the ideals of the American dream. And this project is my way of showing that good old American ingenuity and technology are alive and well. I wanted Luthorville to showcase the advances and innovations of American corporations who are striving for breakthroughs in housing and industrial science. See, when I was about 10 years old, I remember seeing a science program on television where they showed an off-grid house in the deserts of the American Southwest. And that was the first time I ever heard the term off-grid. I had no idea what that meant. And then I realized it meant literally unattached to the power grid, independent of the water grid, not part of the phone grid. Now, as a kid who loved science and technology, I was completely blown away by this concept. The idea that these people created a hydroponics garden and a wastewater recycling system and used solar panels for generating electricity, this was astonishing to me. There it was, a completely autonomous oasis in the desert, like some kind of lone lunar base poised on the edge of space. How exciting, how audacious. I grew up as a city boy in the suburbs and neighborhoods by shopping malls,
But didn't you used to go horseback riding in the country a lot?
Well, yeah. My aunt and uncle, they had a few acres and some horses. For having grown up in the city, I guess I was maybe a bit of a country kid at heart. I could saddle up a horse when I was 14, and I'd always go hiking out in the woods and scaling boulders and riding my bicycle to explore gullies behind houses and explore creeks and go cliff jumping into swimming holes, So
it sounds like you had a lot more country in you than you realize, because pretty sure city boys can't saddle a horse. Plus, you've been thrown from a horse twice and dragged once, right? And you keep riding. So yeah. I think you've got some cowboy blood in you, son.
Well, that's true, yeah. Which is all the more reason that I'm in love with deserts and the frontier. When I saw those off-grid homes as a kid, I was mesmerized to think that in our modern day and age, there were still pioneers living out in the wilderness of America and using ultra-modern technology to survive. That just seemed like the ultimate adventure to me. So as a result, I wouldn't exactly say I've been planning Galatea Meridian my whole life, but I've been hoping for it since I was a child. The seed of this idea has been germinating since grade school.
It sounds like the kind of dream you've always wanted to do, but you never really expected you'd do it.
Right.
Plus, you have such a love for education and writing and photography and filmmaking. Making an educational show like Luthorville kind of seems inevitable.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So in a nutshell, that's the why behind this. Fate has been pointing me in this direction for decades. I've wanted to create Galatea Meridian all my life because a humble home on a vast property has always been my dream. So sharing how I will do this has stemmed from a lifetime of experience with creative and educational projects.
Luthorville is an educational series inspiring kids and adults to become excited about innovations in science and technology by documenting the design and construction of a Mojave Desert homestead called Galatea Meridian. Witness the crazy story of how Eric Muss-Barnes, an unemployed computer geek and struggling novelist, risks homelessness by spending most of his life savings to build an off-grid dream house in the middle of nowhere. Having purchased vast acres of the Old West, can Eric find a stable job and create his home before his money runs out? Take a journey where fortitude and a pioneering spirit continue to forge the American dream on the romantic landscape of the American frontier.
Thank you for watching this latest episode of Luthorville.
And please be sure to share with all your family and friends.
And remember, if your ambitions don't scare you,
they aren't big enough.